kidding around.
We have to get the official's name also. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to, on a cold, wintry type December evening here to Norristown Area High School Gymnasium, where tonight promises to be one of the best early season matchups in District 1 girls basketball, where the Norristown Eagles, coming in with a record of 1-0, entertaining the Vikings from Westchester East, who come in tonight tested at 3 wins against no losses. Promises to be a great game, and I'd like at this time to introduce my broadcast partner, a longtime friend, Norristown attorney, sports enthusiast, outstanding knowledge of the game of basketball, Mr. Joe Highland. Joe, welcome to the Norristown Area School District Television Network.
Thank you very much, Tom, and good evening, everybody. Westchester East should prove to be a formidable opponent for the Eagles as they open up their 2000-2001 basketball season. As Tom pointed out, they are presently 3-0 and having beaten 3 quality teams. Coached by Dan Rudloff, now in his 18th year, the Lady Vikings return 4 starters from a team that finished 16-10 last year and entered the second round of the district playoffs. The Lady Vikings will be led by Brooke Queenan, their 6'1" junior center, who averaged 16.5 points per game last year and has been a 3-year starter for Coach Rudloff. Another player to watch will be 5'11" junior Juliet Warren, who scored at a 10-point pace last season and is also a 3-year starter for the Lady Vikings. So in short, we have an opponent here that has experience, some size, some firepower, and it should prove to be a very interesting matchup.
Joe, along those same lines, Norristown High School also brings a very experienced team to the floor this evening, returning all 5 starters from last year, with Sasha Sims at the point, Tammy Halsey, Danielle Marshall, Leanne Moore, and Tamisha Johnson. They also have a very deep bench, very, very good size, as does Westchester East. They match up, I think, extremely well. I think the difference could be perhaps Leanne Moore inside. Recently, she has signed a letter of intent accepting a full scholarship to Rider University, and that's an outstanding achievement for any coach to have a Division I player on their team. So tonight's game should be exciting, should be a lot of good coaching points, coaching move. I think coaching is going to be very, very important tonight, Joe. Adjustments having to be made, and to keep the big players and the top players on the floor. As we begin this 2000-2001 season here at Norristown High School, Coach Roger Jackson has high expectations for his Eagles, as does Coach Rudolph. So let's sit back and enjoy this game, what promises to be one of the marquee matchups early season in District 1 play. We'll be back with the opening tap starting lineups very, very shortly.
And now for the starting lineups.
Okay, right now we're back at courtside here as the starting lineups be introduced for Westchester East. The Vikings come in at 3-0. Coach Dan Rudolph. Let's turn it over, if you can hear, to Laura Skinyard on the PA. That's number 3, Jackie DePersia, a 5'7" senior. Number 14, Joe Radini. Number 13, Carolyn Franchetti, 5'6" guard.
Number 22, Brooke Queen.
22 is Brooke Queen, a 6'1" junior center, another returning starter for the Vikings. And rounding out the starting lineup, athletic Juliet Warren, a 5'10" junior forward, another one of 5 returning starters, or let's say 4 returning starters.
It will be those last 2 young ladies, Miss Queenan and Miss Warren, upon whom the Lady Vikings will be relying heavily this evening.
Number 11, Tamara Hall.
Sasha Sims starting at guard for Norristown, returning starter from a year ago, as is number 11, Tammy Halsey. Number 22 is a 5'9" guard, a junior, Danielle Marshall.
33, Leanne Moore.
And here comes the answer. Number 33, Leanne Moore, preseason All-State selection, along with number 34, 6-foot forward senior, Tamisha Johnson. Joe, it looks like they both match up equally in size. Do you think that speed or quickness could be a factor, and will we tell early?
I think we will be able to tell very early, because I think that Norristown will come out in a man-to-man defense, and we'll be able to see if the Lady Vikings can keep up with the Eagles with regard to quickness on the floor.
Okay, I believe both teams predominantly like to play man-to-man. Talking to Coach Rudolph prior to the game, however, he said he has been successful also with switching defenses, going back to man-to-man as well as matchup zones.
Right, and speaking to the coach a couple of days ago, he basically told me the same thing, that for all intent and purposes, his club is a man-to-man club.
Well, here we are. It's a home opener for the Lady Eagles. Westchester East, 3 games under their belt. Norristown with a huge win over William Tennant, huge at least as far as point disparity is concerned. So we'll see if they're tested tonight, how they will hold up in a competitive atmosphere. Jumping center for the Eagles is number 34, Tamisha Johnson. I'm sure she'll be going up against number 22, 6'1½", Brooke Queenan.
Norristown in the home white, Westchester East in the burgundy and gold.
Referees giving both teams instructions. It's a clean tap taken by the Lady Eagles. Number 22, that's Danielle Marshall, off the rim, rebounded by number 11, Tamara Halsey. Up again, it looked like Leanne Moore or Tamisha Johnson on the offensive board, and there's a foul call, and indeed number 34, Tamisha Johnson, will go to the line to shoot 2. Joe, Norristown showing some early aggressiveness on those offensive boards.
Yes, Tamara Hawley made a strong move to the basket. Unfortunately, she could not finish the play, but Norristown did have a chance to for 2 points here.
Nice form as Tamisha Johnson puts the Eagles on the scoreboard. Second of her 2 foul shots coming up. And good. Norristown seems to be in a full court press. Looks like a zone press, 1-2-1-1. That's number 13, Carolyn Franchetti for the Vikings. Vikings struggling in the backcourt, it seems. Pretty tough against number 33. Look how quick she moves, Mr. Highland.
Yes.
Okay, Franchetti on penetration, splits the middle. Good left hand, deflected by Leanne Moore. We're going to give Leanne a block shot on that play. Inbounding number 33 will be Juliet Warren for the Vikings. Norristown appears to be staying in a man-to-man. Shot blocked by number 33, Leanne Moore. Counts her 2 block shots and two possessions right there, 1 possession.
She reacted very well to the jumper, came out and got a piece of that jump shot.
Franchetti from the corner, no good. Johnson on the rebound. Turns the ball over to number 11, Tamara Halsey. Nice bounce pass, and couldn't convert. Johnson, a monster on the board so far. Norristown dominating the offensive boards, just can't seem to convert. Those shots will drop. Little home game jitters here, Counselor. All right, that's 13. It seems to be their primary ball handler, Franchetti. Throws the ball to Jackie DePersia. Back to number 22, Queenan. Left wing to Juliet Warren. Penetrates, drives, baseline, pulls up. Nice pull-up jumper by number 33, Juliet Warren. Number 11, Tamara Halsey. Return possession for the Eagles. Norristown setting up in a 1-3-1 set against the 1-3-1 zone. Doesn't really match up well, 1-3-1, 1-3-1. I'm sure East will be happy if Norristown takes that form, Joe, against the 1-3-1 zone. Plays into an automatic matchup. Warren having trouble a little bit against Norristown press, reverses the ball to Brooke Queen and throws over the top, which a big player will be able to do. And now East is in their set offense against Norristown's man-to-man. Actually, Norristown appears to be in his zone, like a 1-2-2. Here's Johnson on the breakaway, and she's a strong finish. Give Norristown the 4-2 lead. Shows good agility for a big player, doesn't she, Joe?
Very quick, very agile.
Norristown still in the press. East struggles, does a good job. They have wide open player, and actually a good foul taken there by number 22 Marshall, Joe, because East had a player wide open under the basket.
Absolutely. Jackie DePersia had slipped behind the Norristown defense and was waiting for a pass, but as you say, Norristown took a very good foul.
Okay, in the early going here, Norristown seems to be the aggressor. They also seem to be early on the dominant team on the boards, and they have Leanne Moore out on top of what appears to be a matchup trapping zone, and that's going to make it difficult for the smaller guards from East. Nice offensive pull there by Jackie DePersia. And 13, Carolyn Franchetti with the ball, trying to penetrate off the top of the key area. And once again, Johnson, her hands on the ball. She's been very active. Great athletic move there and a finish. She's come to play tonight, Joe. What do you think?
Absolutely. She played very aggressive defense and finished it off with a nice layup at the other end of the court.
Norristown again in the press. East breaks the press. Ball gets down this time where DePersia was open, Joe. But you're going to give up layups like that. Norristown wants to keep the pressure on East. They figure they'll turn it over more than they'll give up an open layup. Holy in the corner.
Be a sound tactic.
Sasha Sims, her first shot, and it goes down. It's a 3.
Nice form, nice jump shot, nice 3 points.
Norristown looks very impressive in the early going. And here's East out of control a little bit. Good call by the official. It's a little bit out of control. Norristown defender had position. What might have appeared as a charging foul would go for naught because the Norristown player had their feet set. Tamara Hawley. Back to Sims. Sims on the left wing. Sees Leanne Moore in the middle. Nice jumper, 15-footer by rider signee Leanne Moore. Broke the press that time. Nice reversal pass to 14. Return into Warren. Oh, she missed the layup. It was nice execution by the Lady Vikings, but Warren forced the shot a little bit. Possession arrow on the jump ball now will be given to the Vikings since Norristown controlled the tap.
Westchester
and that's a timeout, Joe, with 4 minutes, 8 seconds to go. Norristown 11, East 4. And your assessment so far?
Well, Westchester has got to convert when they have the opportunity. Norristown's press is very aggressive, and when Westchester does break it, they have to finish at the other end. They're going to get a lot of layups if they successfully beat the press, but so far they have not converted on those opportunities.
Right, and as long as they don't, Norristown's press, Coach Jackson will keep the press on. So if East wants to get more of a half-court game, like you say, is a good point. They're going to have to convert the layups to force Coach Jackson's hand maybe to change up defenses to a more conventional half-court set. Inbounding underneath will be the Vikings. I'm very impressed so far with Norristown's versatility and athleticism. And 34, Tanisha Johnson, shows a lot of diversity. She's just not a power player. She can something down the floor. Number 14, that's Julia Radini, long from the corner. Offensive board pulled down. Setting now Franchetti back up top. Goes around the screen. East is having difficulty getting the ball inside to Brooke Queenan. Warren seems to be their most versatile player. Drives baseline. Falls down. Here comes Norristown on transition, number 11. Halsey on a breakaway and converts. That's number 11, Tamara Halsey.
Defense and speed.
That's what we're seeing here, Joe, early going. A holding foul, number 22, Danielle Marshall. That's what we saw last night in the boys' game. Boys were a little bit over-aggressive last night, got in some serious foul trouble. The Lady Eagles, although they're being aggressive, they're moving their feet well. They're getting good trapping positions, and they're not being foolish in their spacing to prevent those early fouls. Inbounding for Norristown will be Tamara Halsey. She'll be inbounding number 22, Danielle Marshall, as Halsey now crosses the timeline. Westchester East seems to be back now in a man-to-man. Number 22, Marshall, on the drive penetration, is fouled. Let's see who that foul is on. That foul's on number 22, Brooke Queenan, and number 22 counterpart, Danielle Marshall, will be shooting 2. Nice form, nice follow through. Proper use of the guide hand, which is the left hand, and nice follow through and good form by Marshall. Nice offensive rebound, Joe. That's number 5 in for Norristown, and that's Ashley O'Donnell. So Ashley O'Donnell comes in off the bench and immediately converts. That makes a coach look awfully good. Warren on the drive is fouled that time, no question. I believe it's by number 33. No, let's make it number 5. That's Ashley O'Donnell.
Team second. Warren on the line, shooting 2.
I think Westchester's having trouble getting the ball into their star player, Brooke Queenan.
Yeah, Norristown, I believe, is doing a good job, Joe, denying her position on the low block. And when she flashes high, Leanne Moore's doing an outstanding job dropping down from her matchup position high to deny her flashing from the weak side.
Unless and until Westchester gets the ball to Queenan, they're going to have a long evening.
Okay, Tamara Halsey on one of the few turnovers the Eagles have this evening. Norristown leading 16-5 under 3 minutes, coming up on 2:45. And a very impressive early performance by Norristown, shutting down a very, very formidable, undefeated 3-0 Westchester East team.
The ball went off the foot of Carolyn Franchetti, Eagles ball.
And that's what you call basically an unforced turnover, but the constant pressure the Eagles are putting on the Vikings put a little bit of doubt in the minds of the guards for Westchester East, Joe.
I think that Norristown's very aggressive defense is causing the Vikings to wilt just a little bit here in the first quarter.
I'm sure what Coach Jackson wants them to do is finish strong. Don't get lazy. Have good possessions. Execute well so you don't give points back. Strong rebound that time by Warren. A wind-up pass down court. Wind-up pass, baseball passes on the run are very, very difficult to successfully complete. Warren will inbound for Westchester. Number 22, Queenan, from way outside. Missed the 3. Showed the propensity, though, to shoot the 3, Joe.
I think that's what she has to do. She has to step up.
Norristown in a box-type set. Johnson from 3. So there's the 2 big centers, both putting up 3s. Johnson on the rebound. Number 22 off the mark. That was Danielle Marshall. Here comes Warren in transition. She's a strong-looking player, Joe.
Very strong and very smooth.
Good offensive rebound that time. Off the miss. Here's Marshall and breakaway. And she's not going to finish. Rushed the shot there a little. Got a little interference on number 11. And Westchester East has a couple new players in the game, Joe. Number 11, Bridget that's Tui. And number 24, Megan McBride.
On that last turnover, Brooke Queenan seemed to be a little frustrated.
Norristown's been rushing their opportunities in the last few possessions, or they would have close to a 20-point lead here. Looks like Norristown may go for one. Let's see, they're being patient.
Westchester East now in a man-to-man.
And that was an ill-advised shot with only 45 seconds to go and an 11-point lead. You thought the Eagles could spread them out perhaps, and now Westchester East has an opportunity to put a dent into that 11-point lead.
I think it's interesting to note that Juliet Warren is bringing up the ball.
I think Leanne Moore got away with one there, Joe. The block may have been clean, but there was a lot of body contact there. But when you got a reputation, sometimes you get those calls. And who was the famous number 33 shot blocker in this game, Joe? Little trivia question.
How about that Luau Cinder, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Well, you can't fool you. For you younger fans out there, if you never saw him play, he was one of the best, ranking second only to Wilt Chamberlain as the greatest center to ever play the game. Here's number 33, Juliet Warren. She's a very impressive player, and she seems to be very, very close to getting her rhythm in this game, and maybe providing a spark for East as she misses that foul shot.
I think it's significant to note that she has been designated now as the person to bring up the ball.
That's a good coaching move, though. If the little guards are having trouble and you have a bigger player that can match the speed of her defender, then that's a good move to make. Okay, Norristown has to go for one here. 15 seconds to go, not the force. There's one. There's a short one to Leanne Moore. You get the ball down into Leanne, and she had at least 5 inches on the defender on her on the switch. 4 seconds, 3. I wonder if Warren's aware of the time. No, she wasn't. It's unfortunate. She was unaware of the time. So at the end of the first quarter, Joe, we had Norristown 18 and the Vikings of Westchester East High School 6. Joe, I'm very impressed with this Norristown club early on here in the game.
Tommy, I agree with you. I think Norristown is showing offensive firepower. They're showing a very aggressive defense, and they're showing an ability to work as a team. On the other hand, Westchester seems a little flustered. I think their failure and their inability to get the ball into their star player, Brooke Queenan, is demonstrated on the scoreboard, and it shows that Westchester is trailing Norristown by 12 points. Brooke Queenan has to become more involved in the game, both offensively and defensively.
That's right. We're not blessed over here, Joe, with statisticians, but if my memory serves me correctly, and it usually doesn't, but if it does in this case, the only shot that I can recall Brooke Queenan taking was that three-point attempt. I can't recall her scoring. Can you? Now, she may have 2 or so, and however, as you mentioned, she has not been a factor at the offensive end, and if that continues, they're in a lot of trouble.
I agree.
Foul situation, both teams are okay. I don't think anyone has 2, and Norristown inbounds the ball. That's number 11, Tamara Halsey. Norristown going with their starting lineup, it appears. And Norristown there got a little lazy and sloppy and turned the ball right back over to East.
Norristown has backed off from its swarming aggressive press.
Franchetti to number 11, Towie. And East returned the favor by turning the ball directly back to the Eagles. That last play, dumping the ball into Leanne Moore, I think they ought to keep going to. And they look at the size differential. Number 3 cannot stay with Leanne Moore. No way.
No.
They ought to just keep looking to post her up. And in order to do that, the Eagles' wings have to create some spacing to allow for a better passing angle, Joe. Right there, number 4 for Norristown, Sasha Sims. Too tight there. The inability to have a passing lane into Leanne Moore. Towie with the ball out front. Returning it to Franchetti. I think she lost her dribble. If she puts it on the floor, it should be a walk. However, the referee and I don't see eye-eye, but we never did.
Strong defense by the Eagles again.
Halsey in transition. Now Norristown has a secondary break. Without a question, Sasha Sims took a hop step there, and detected by our official John Holes, who is joined by his officiating partner this evening, Miss Sandy Yost. So that's John Holes and Sandy Yost. I wonder if Sandy's related to Earl Yost. I should say Walt Yost, not Earl Yost. I was thinking of the late Earl Strom, and believe me, there's no comparison. That was a turnover again by, only kidding, Walt. Number 14 for the Vikings, Jill Radini. Norristown bringing the ball up, number 11, Tamara Halsey, in under the control at the point, penetrating one-on-one. Nice dish to Johnson. She wasn't in a position to catch the ball. East really packing in their zone. It's a man, but they're playing a real tight man. Norristown's, what they've got to do is not that.
Not that.
Trying to make an entry pass from right of the top of the key to the deep left wing is turnover city. It's a turnover waiting to happen.
With Westchester backed off in that very tight zone, it's going to be important for Norristown to hit some perimeter shots.
Well, what they have to do, they have to get people moving. Right now, they have a stationary offense. They've got to send somebody through, create some movement, create some seams in that defense, and then they have to spread the floor. They've got an 18-6 lead. They've got to have Westchester East play them, because Westchester East right now is shaky, at best shaky, at their offensive end. Okay, 33 inbounds the ball. Juliet Warren. And Joe, you made a good point early. Norristown's a little bit sluggish right now.
Not only that, but I think that Brooke Queenan has got to get inside, and Westchester has got to get her the ball.
They don't seem to even be looking for it, do they?
I agree.
Once again, Joe, do you understand when I talk about spacing? It's very difficult to throw a 3-foot bounce pass with the defense denying that pass. And Norristown's got to get better spacing. Here's a nice inbound pass. Johnson, the offensive attempt, unsuccessful.
There's Juliet Warren
Juliet
again.
Warren on transition. Nice head pump, foul. And that foul, I believe, is going to be on number 4, Sasha Sims. No, excuse me, that's a Leanne Moore. Leanne Moore. I'm having a difficult time picking out these fouls. That's only Leanne's first. Leanne Moore ended the first period, Joe, on the low block with a good pass from a good spacing position from the left corner. She hasn't seen the ball since. You have a Division I player, you go to her early and off until she's proven you can stop her. East is also struggling at the foul line right now.
Last year, Brooke Queenan and Juliet Warren combined for 26 points a game, and they are being effectively controlled by the Eagles this evening.
There's no question Norristown's defense has been consistent. The offense this quarter is struggling. Coach Jackson perhaps might want to think about taking a timeout just to revitalize his offense a little bit. Sometimes I've even gone to the bench, put in a spark substitute to provide some impetus.
Mm-hmm. The sixth man is sixth woman, or the sixth man is a very important part of any team.
Now don't start going 6 man, 6 lady on me, Joe. It's 6 man, it's not 6 woman. There's no way I could break that habit. Number 22, nice pull up, broke the drought in Norristown. That was Danielle Marshall. Franchetti's getting a little bit tired. She's had to face this Norristown. Press Norristown back in their trapping zone. Number 5 back in the game for Norristown. That's Ashley O'Donnell, excuse me. Irish is Irish.
Fouls on 4, her second team, 5th.
You think Jackson, Coach Jackson might think about taking out Leanne at this time with their second foul?
She has 2 fouls. They have control of the game. Why risk a third? And as we look across the way, you see Sasha Sims on the bench as Juliet Warren converts the free throw. And that's a good move by Coach Jackson. He and I are on the same page, along with Coach John Chaney, on that philosophy. Of course, last night, Coach Bill Michaels had 2 fouls in the second quarter on Matt Bates and left him in, got away with it. So it's just a philosophy of coaches. Okay, Coach Jackson's calling the Temple offense, so he shouldn't get much out of this. And that's a turnover. Juliet Warren with the ball.
I see that you're a great fan of John Chaney's offensive coaching.
I love John Chaney. I love him. But I think his offense is extremely unimaginative. And I've talked to John about it, but John has reasons for that. That was Ashley O'Donnell on a breakaway. Norristown now up 22-9. Just over 4 minutes remain. Nice penetrating drive by Franchetti and a nice finish to cut right back in the Eagle lead.
That was a very nice drive by Carolyn.
Ooh, nice move by number 11. Oh, well, the referee did give her that. I thought it was close, but that was a great move by number 11, Tamara Halsey. I thought she came to one hop, a jump stop, and a nice little runner, but she was not rewarded by that play at all.
All due respect to you, Coach, I think it was a good call.
That's I'm doing coach speak here. You're doing objective analyzing. Warren from the baseline.
There's a jump ball.
Okay, that possession arrow will go back to East. Very important, 3:24 to go here. Once again, Norristown can go into halftime with a comfortable lead if they can really dominate this final 3 minutes and not allow East to get back in it. There's a baseline drive. 4 shot.
There's that.
Should have been a foul called there, I think. Johnson on the breakaway, too hard. Norristown's missing a bundle of easy cripples. And now the foul goes East. The East coaching staff is extremely upset. They thought there was a foul down there against Norristown at the other end, and I think I'm in agreement with them. However, so what happens is Tamisha Johnson gets a breakaway layup, grabs her own offensive board, and then a touch foul's called against East. That really irritates coaches. Ball into Leanne Moore. She's not getting many touches, and when she does, that's what usually happens. Got to get the ball to number 33, by far the most outstanding basketball player on the floor. I think she's 3 for 3 from the field.
That was an excellent move. She stepped, moved to her right, slashed down the lane, and deposited a layup and drew the foul. A very nice play.
Right, let's see how Leanne does here from the foul line. Nice size hands, bends her knees well, beautiful follow through, a little short. Nice rebound by number 4, Sims. She's not going to get the roll. She's not going to get the roll. Number 5, instead of controlling the rebound, tried to go up without coming down and setting her feet. Okay, number 33, Warren with the ball. Right of the key. Picked by number 22, Queenan. Pick and roll. Nice play into Queenan, and that's what they've got to do more, Joe.
Absolutely, that's the play they should have been looking for all evening.
And almost a steal by Queenan. Ball goes across the key, picked up.
Getting
back
a little
to
sloppy.
Sims with a real nice quick move. She's shorter. Leanne Moore, a big play, and she gets the roll. A shooter's roll. Big bucket there, 26-13. Leanne Moore is the real deal. Nice move there by Franchetti. I'm impressed with Ashley O'Donnell, 6-man off the bench. And now we have a 2:07. Norristown again with a sizable lead. They just have to be patient, execute their offense, and I would look for Leanne Moore. They're going back to the box offense, and her pants trying to post up. They're daring her to shoot. She has to shoot it, and that's Johnson. When you have your center out there on the wing, and they're denying double teaming the forward Leanne Moore, that's tough to stop, and that's good execution. She has to take that jumper there, Joe.
Westchester called a timeout. I think it was a very smart timeout to stem the tide here, because Norristown is threatening to blow this game wide open.
Well, you're right, Joe, and it was a timeout out of necessity for the Vikings. You're right. Norristown up 16 here. 144 is an awful lot of time, though. What Norristown wants to do is continue to play very solid defense. When I say solid defense, you'll hear me comment on that through the telecast throughout the basketball season, boys and girls. Solid defense means you don't necessarily have to gamble. You want to be between your player and the basket. You don't want to reach. You want to beat your player to the spot on their dribble penetration. When they pick up their dribble, you want to close on the player, clamp them, hands up, and not reach over them. And then everyone else has to deny the next pass. That's what I mean, and that's what I've always preached to my players. Solid defense as opposed to gambling pressure style. Pressure style, I should say. Okay, 33 will be inbounding the ball to number 13, Carolyn Franchetti. Norristown has a sub ready to come in. That's number 11, Tamara Halsey. She may come in to replace Leanne Moore, who has 2 fouls. And Leanne, he got what he wanted when he put her back in, Coach. Leanne converted a nice 3-point play, a follow-up jumper. She has not gotten her 3rd foul. He'd be wise to pull her right now so she doesn't get the 3rd.
Yeah, he is taking a risk. I understand that the Eagles do have a 16-point lead, but why risk it?
No, and you don't want Leanne reaching in here. And see how she drops in this matchup zone? She starts out at the top guarding number 13, then she matches out. And Coach Jackson, outstanding coaching move as he replaces Halsey. And also for the Eagles, here comes number 44. We're seeing for the first time Erica, I assume it's Deaver. If it's Dever and I mispronounce it, somebody, I'm sure, hearing this telecast will correct me through the proper sources.
I believe the pronunciation, Coach, is Deaver.
Norristown again going to that post-up offense. And there's Johnson.
Nice entry pass, and a nice finish.
Coach Jackson's made some nice adjustments late in this quarter to get his offense moving.
Nice entry pass.
Westchester East 11-13. Franchetti.
Nice ball movement.
She got a 3 out
jumper.
of it. Sorry, it's good defense. You don't want to foul the jump shooter. Norristown now 45 seconds ago. Might be wise to pull it out a little bit, spread the defense, maybe go for 1. Let's see what the strategy is. Halsey out front, the official giving the closely guarded 5-second call.
She's being
now she takes it off.
She's being hawked by Franchetti.
Comes number 4, Sasha Sims. Back to number 22, Danielle Marshall, doing a nice job so far. Now you want to spread it out. You don't want to go too quickly.
Eagles are showing excellent discipline.
Yes, they are. They ought to spread their low people out a little more. Or they might try to run a pick and roll. It's under 10. She's got to go now. 6 seconds to go, and the official call palming. That's the point of emphasis this year. But you know what? That could be called any time. I don't like that change of rule because it's difficult to get kids to break habits at the high school level. They don't expect college players to break it or pro. But that brings us to the end of the first half with the score Norristown 31 in a well-played first half, Westchester East 16. Joe, your thoughts on the first half before we break?
Well, I think it's clear that Westchester is having some difficulty with the Eagles' defense. You hate to keep saying the thing over and over again, but I believe the key to Norristown's 15-point lead is their swarming, aggressive defense. I also think that that Westchester is not utilizing their best weapons. And by that I mean Brooke Queenan and Juliet Warren. They've got to get them the ball. It's clear that they are the two best athletes on the team. They're strong, they're powerful, they're graceful, and I think it's important if Westchester has any hope of getting back into this game, they have to utilize their two big guns.
Good points, Joe. And let's see now if the coaching staff at Westchester East makes any adjustments alluding to the points that you just mentioned and which I'm in agreement. So we'll be back for the start of the second half here between Westchester East and Norristown in a few minutes.
Please get your
Halsey, right wing, inside to Moore. Picked up by Juliet Warren. Warren down the right side. Measures her opponent. Looking for the shot.
Joe, the first few minutes of the second half are going to be critical for Westchester East. They're going to have to cut into this Norristown lead in order to have a chance in the fourth quarter. But what they have to guard against is not trying to make it back in one or two possessions. They have to take it one possession at a time, maybe cut the 15-point lead to 10, and then go from there.
Pass inside. There's Moore. Moore. There's Juliet Warren again down the right side. Nice pass. Franchetti brings it back out.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Working the ball around the perimeter.
That's Rodini with the ball.
Stolen by Danielle Marshall. Marshall down the left side. Almost loses control of the ball.
Joe, I sense if Norristown just takes their time offensively, this game will be over quickly because their defense intensity is as high as it was to start the game, and Westchester East looks very fatigued and looks like they have no answer at all.
Very strong rebound there by Tamisha Johnson. Norristown is threatening to blow this game open. Here's Franchetti outside. Bounce pass to Rodini. Over to Queenan. Inside to Queenan. Again, Westchester is failing to utilize their best weapon.
You're absolutely right, Joe. The one time there they did have 22 Queenan in a good position on the low block, and sloppy execution of the entry pass resulted in a turnover, of which number 11, Tamara Halsey, successfully converted at the other end, where she drew the blocking foul. She'll go to the line now, shooting 2. This is number 11, Tamara Halsey, shooting 2.
Shooter's roll.
Joe, my reference to in the first half to Earl Strom, the late Earl Strom, and Walt Yost. The official informed us at halftime that she, in fact, is the daughter of the assigner for the Suburban 1 League, Walt Yost, who is a fine man, very dedicated official, and very good for District 1 basketball. And hopefully she'll give him my positive greetings.
I'm sure she will.
As long as she doesn't mention the Westchester Henderson game of 1979.
There's a scramble on the floor. It will be
Norristown, I think, is going to
ball.
retain possession here.
Moore at top of the key. Marshall to Halsey.
Good kick out there.
Very nice block. Very nice block by Brooke Queenan.
Yeah, at that time too, Joe, Johnson got the offensive board for Norristown. Tamisha Johnson, she kept the ball high. Had she ball fake, pump fake there, she could have drawn the big girl Queenan off her feet and maybe successfully converted. It's so important to establish position, gather yourself inside, ball fake, head fake once or twice, and go up strong. But Norristown again retains possession. Inbounding will be number 11, Halsey.
I note that over the halftime, Brooke Queenan has her left ankle taped. She may have suffered a very minor injury in the first half.
Yeah, I didn't notice it. You're more observant in that capacity than I am, Joe. I do see now that she has a pretty high ankle tape. Probably went in and saw the prominent trainer of the Norristown area athletic program, Mr. Dennis Flynn.
The Ace Elite.
Yes.
Prominent trainer.
Right. There's not a subject that he can't address or a bandage that he can't dress.
Here's Norristown on the fast break. Marshall driving, being fouled. She will be shooting 2.
Danielle Marshall took it strong, used her body, kept her body between the basket and the defender, which is a very, very intelligent play, drawing the blocking foul from number 11, Bridget Toohey.
I am very impressed by the athleticism of these young women. You can see that they are well trained, well toned.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Coach Jackson, he runs a year-round program. Without a question, a year-round program. Gets the girls in the weight room, gets the girls to camps, clinics, conducts his own camp here. They play in different tournaments all season, like most good high school programs have to these days. He's a very good organizer. He conducts a study hall on a daily basis. The girls follow the boys in practice. So Norristown community should be very proud of these girls and the job that Coach Jackson and his staff. And let's mention that staff right now, why the action has slowed down a little bit. Assistant coaches are Dave Baker, Brian Garwood, Miss Tamika Green, Edgar Knights. They're doing an outstanding job here. Coach Jackson, this year entering his 3rd full year. You can just see by the development of girls like Leanne Moore that the fruits of his labors are certainly being realized here with the Lady Eagles.
And despite a 21-point lead, Norristown continues to press. I think Coach Jackson wants to put this team away by the end of the 3rd quarter.
Right. Well, you know, his offense has been a little bit slow lately, and he feels though pressure defense could generate offense, and maybe then get the comfortable lead that he feels. Then he can go to his bench and get some of his younger players or bench players some playing time. But 4:19 left in the 3rd quarter is a lot of time, believe me.
There's a very nice block by Leanne Moore. I'm sorry. Taking some time off the clock is Tamara Halsey.
Norristown showed a little pick and roll. They spot up number 4, Sasha Sims, posting up on the low block. They ran a high pick and roll with Leanne Moore out high, and here they sent Sasha Sims to the block. Not real tall, but as you can see, she's pretty well put together and strong legs, and she was able to power up down low.
Entering the game now for Westchester East is Jackie DePersia, a senior guard.
DePersia is back in the game.
That play showed excellent execution, and they finished.
Good point, Joe. It's so important that the term finishing. Making the move to the basket is fine, but if you don't finish, it goes for naught.
That was a 15-foot jumper, wide open, hit nothing but iron.
There's that spacing concern. Coach Jackson will see that, I'm sure. That's such an easy thing to correct. It just takes drill and repetition to practice. It takes watching a game tape like this for the coach to point out. What I mean by spacing, they're posting up their big people down low, Moore as well as Johnson on the block. In order to get a good passing angle, you can't be too close to them, too tight. There's got to be a proper spacing element involved to allow for a better passing angle. Because believe me, when they catch the ball, they're going to score.
A shot like that will not get Westchester back into this game. Nice pass inside. Johnson, very strong presence underneath.
She's going back the line. Let's talk a little bit. The preseason prognosticators, based on information that they receive from coaches and so-called experts throughout the state, pick Norristown as one of the contenders for the District 1 title. However, one's got to point out that one of the other top contenders for the state title is defending state champion Cheltenham. And the Panthers are in the same conference as Norristown. They have to play each other twice. Conceivably, the second place team from that conference could be the state champion or go far in states, but not take the title of their own league.
Sometimes early season prognosticators will pick a team to finish high in the postseason, and the only thing that results in is having these players play the season with a target on their back, because all the other teams get up for them and they try just that much harder.
Joe, I could certainly relate to that. When teams ever played Norristown, I always said they're going to play their best game of the year. And Norristown girls program is getting to the level, the reputation that the boys have had, and coming off a 19-win season and a second round district playoff appearance, they're certainly looking to go far. Coach Jackson has high expectations, Joe. They want to win it all, and I give him credit for that.
Well,
and I think the girls are playing with confidence.
Well, the basketball tradition at Norristown, especially for men's basketball, is a long and storied one. It goes back as far as the late 1940s and the famous Buzz Boys, which a team which won the state championship, I believe in 1948.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you were the manager of the team that year. Is that right, Joe?
I think I was the ball boy.
No, the Buzz Boys, the only state champion Norristown ever produced, and it just goes to show you that in order to win a state championship, a lot of luck has to be involved. It's not just based on talent. There are a lot of talented teams out there, boys level, girls level, and I could attest to the fact my first year as a head coach at St. Pius 10th and Pottstown, we start the season out 1-6. 3 months later, we're in Pittsburgh before 7,000 people being crowned a state champion. So the ball takes funny bounces, but you got to be on the right end of those bounces.
That was a magical year for you at St. Pius that year, Tom. You caught lightning in a bottle.
Number 33 looks a little fatigued now. What do you think, Joe?
I think that she has done more than her share. Nice three from the corner by Megan McBride.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's only the second field goal East has this whole quarter. I believe the score was, what was it, a 13 at half they had?
31-15.
31-15?
Yeah. That's
their only field goal then. That was a 3. Well, this should give Coach Jackson, I'm sorry, I keep calling him Coach Johnson, Coach Roger Jackson, a good opportunity to play a lot of his non-starters in the fourth quarter.
And I think that's important because the substitutes.
Anthony off the bench, Joe, has now hit her second consecutive 3.
Where has she been?
Number 24, we don't know, but I bet she's going to gain a lot of playing time as a result of the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Westchester might have found a sniper.
Let's see if Norristown now extends their defense out.
Nice, very nice pass inside.
you want to give Dan Rudolph a little credit, Joe. He calls timeout. He puts number 24 into the game, Megan McBride, and he makes an adjustment, and they hit 2 3 balls, and now they have a little momentum. And again, it's early season, non-league game. They're going to take something positive away. The girls from East have not quit, to their credit.
I think the point you made, Tom, about giving the bench players some playing time is very important. It's important for us to remember that the girls who sit on the bench also practice every day. They practice just as hard and just as long as the starters, and it's good to see them get some playing time.
That's right. As our athletic director walks by here on NASD TV, Joe, you want to say a word? Okay, Joe's all business tonight. He's letting us do the broadcasting.
Looks like he has the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Or other places. Okay, that was number 33, Juliet Warren. Joe, I don't think you'll be back for any more of these broadcasts.
Well, it's been fun.
Neither will I.
Lasted, right.
I retired as a coach. I might be fired as a broadcaster, but I'm having fun, and we're having fun watching the Lady Eagles.
Oh.
Offensive foul. That's 3 consecutive possessions that Norristown has unsuccessfully converted on the offensive end. Meanwhile, the Vikings have scored 7 unanswered points.
It'll be interesting to see if the Vikings go again to their newly found sharpshooter, Miss McBride. There she is again.
Number 3, you called that? Prognosticator, cancer, coaching expert, Joe Highland. And guess what? They found something in Norristown. Better adjust, because the momentum has definitely shifted, and that's going to go off-white. That's off-white. Good call by the officials right here in front of our TV booth, or wooden table, whatever you have. And timeout, Norristown. And I think nice little run.
I think the reason that Norristown called timeout is to perhaps execute some defensive maneuvers to take control of Megan McBride. Is her name Megan McBride, or is it Sergeant Alvin York?
Well, whoever it is, Megan's doing a heck of a job impersonating Sergeant York.
The young lady has 9 points in about a minute and a half.
When she came into the game, Norristown was on a tremendous run, up 41-16. And that's correct, 41-16. So make that's 10 unanswered, because they threw out a foul shot mixed in there. So East on a 10-0 run. The good thing for Norristown, under a minute to go in the third period, they're still up 15. So they were playing very, very well. And you know, you're not going to keep a good club like Westchester East down the entire game. So I think Roger Jackson, he'll get his girls to settle down, play aggressive defense, and go in and start hard in the fourth quarter.
Here comes Norristown on the fast break. Very nice play. Juliet Warren came back, made the steal, stopped the fast break. Norristown seems to be a little disorganized at this time, Tom.
Well, yeah, I think they're kind of shell-shocked somewhat. Westchester East has picked up their intensity, but 1 point, 33. Last time Juliet Warren drove, did not convert. Somebody's now got to step up their top players to allow the lift by Megan McBride significant to their comeback. And there's a nice dish, and this is what I mean. She's going to have to convert. Good defensive play there. Double teamed inside by Johnson and Moore. Deep rebound shot by McBride. Joe, this is an amazing performance. Win, lose, or draw, Megan McBride has come of age. She has scored 11 points in exactly 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Give or take a minute or two.
That is tremendous production off the bench.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, with the score 41-16, Norristown and Westchester East reeling. Coach Rudolph called a timeout. Entering the game, number 24, Megan McBride. The rest of the quarter, Westchester East outscored Norristown 12-0. And Megan McBride, I believe, had 11 of those 12 points.
That's correct.
Now, if I'm Coach Jackson, I'm looking at a 13-point lead. What you want to do is keep your team calm right now. All right, all it's going to take to weather the storm is a couple key baskets and a couple good defensive stops by Norristown. Get that lead back up to 15-16. I don't know if Westchester East has the pressing comeback. Norristown's got to protect the basketball and take good shots. Westchester East cannot steal the ball from them.
All right, the lead is down to 13.
Here's Sasha Sims, Joe. And she drug her pivot foot. See, they're trying to force. They're pressing a little bit. When I say pressing, they're a little bit tense right now, and they're trying to force things offensively.
It's amazing the impact that the spindly Megan McBride has had on this game. She's looking for the shot again. Nice pass inside.
A little bit over the top there. Norristown got away with a foul, I believe. There was contact, but they're letting the play at both ends. So as long as the officiating is consistent, but Westchester East is attempting a comeback, and they need every call. You're down 13, you need every call. All right, that is the 7th team foul against Westchester East, Joe. So Norristown now may have to win this at the foul line. Let's see how good they're foul shooting. 1-1 the rest of the game, unless they exceed 9 fouls, then it's 2.
It seems that the Norristown offense has begun to sputter a bit. Very, very strong rebound by Juliet Warren. Excellent defensive play by Leanne Moore. The possession arrow favors Westchester East.
Good hustle play by Leanne Moore coming up from behind there.
Juliet Warren will take the ball out under her own basket. Inbounds play is a stack play.
Bang. Joe, this is incredible. This is an outstanding comeback, but it's still not panic time for Norristown. 10-point lead.
Westchester has cut the lead in half.
And there's the call. As I said, Norristown may have to seal this from the foul line. And let me tell you, if they show a propensity for missed free throws, that might be the strategy for the Lady Vikings. Although 2 more fouls, Norristown will be shooting a double bonus from the line. Timeout here, 7:06 remaining. Norristown leading by 10.
Well, I think the story of the second half has been the entry into the game of Megan McBride. She started on the bench. Coach Rudloff needed some offensive firepower, put her in, and the young lady hasn't missed a shot. 3 long threes and a very nice 12-foot jump shot.
And as I mentioned also, Joe, someone's got to now step up. One of their top players, either Warren or Queen, have to step up to complement the great job done by McBride. And the last possession, you saw McQueen hit the big 3. As number 11 here, Halsey does convert and break that long drought by the Eagles.
That was a shot. That was as strange as it sounds, a very important 1 point. Two nice shots by Halsey. Juliet Warren bringing the ball down, looking inside. DePersia, there's McBride, entry pass into Queenan, beautiful pass.
Boy, they're playing with confidence now there. They're really playing with confidence.
They're moving the ball, they're passing, they're finding the open man, and they're making their shots count.
Oh, nice position. Beautiful bounce pass. Number 11 that was, Joe?
Yes.
Tamara Halsey, beautiful bounce pass as
Tamisha Johnson
rolled to the hoop. I saw Tamisha today in the cafeteria at lunch. She seemed very, very focused, as did all of Coach Jackson's girls. They take this very seriously in the right perspective, but they have a lot of unity amongst them.
That was a very important three-point play to stop some of Westchester's momentum here in the second half.
Looks like she was pushed out of bounds. The foul's going to go against Norristown. That's only their 4th team foul. So it looks like the Vikings will inbound here, Joe, under their own basket.
For as talented as Juliet Warren seems to be, she seems to favor her right side. I don't think she goes to her left as well as she goes to her right, Tom.
I think you're exactly right. The first half, she tried a lot down here at the near left baseline. This half, she got along with that. There's some fans over there not too happy with the call there, but the official held us cool and we're playing on. Once again, Joe, I'm going to bring it up. Spacing, it's difficult to throw a 2-foot bounce pass. It's almost impossible for a big player to capture. It's just impossible. At that point, she should have jump stopped, kicked it out, or maintained her dribble.
Norristown continues into man-to-man. There's a blocking foul by Tamisha Johnson, with Brooke Queenan going to the line.
Foul Johnson, the 3rd, team 5th.
Still only their 5th.
Norristown is not in the penalty.
See, this is where every possession now is critical for East, because Norristown got the lead back up to a more comfortable 13, and they almost have to score at will, and you don't want to do that.
That was a very, very fine turnaround jump shot. She made a drop step to the basket, spun, and hit a very, very nice jump shot and drew a foul.
Very impressive play by number 33, Juliet Warren. She's back to the line now where she just missed. Let's see what transpires on this attempt.
And the lead is down to 11, 46-35. Finished that three-point play very nicely. The lead is now 10 points, and Coach Jackson looks a little nervous on the bench.
Well, I can attest to you, he is. But he's also confident. Another pick and roll. Leanne Moore a little too quick on a shot. She didn't finish. There's going to be a jump ball. Possession will be retained by Norristown here, Joe. You know, Norristown looked like, well, they weren't. They were not looked like they were blowing East out. But Westchester East is a formidable opponent, undefeated, playoff team, a lot of experience, 3 games under their belt. And one of the preseason favorites to win the Chessmont League has Coach Phil and Downingtown in it. So they just got, Norristown played great basketball. Westchester East is waking up now. So don't be too surprised, and don't put much onus on Norristown's inefficiency, as East now playing up to its capabilities, Joe.
I agree. I'm sure the young women who play at Westchester, they're athletes, and they don't like to lose. And I'm sure their pride was stung a little bit after that first half, and they came back like the athletes, like the competitors that they are.
Nice form, Leanne. She pulled the string a couple of her early tries in that first one. That one she followed through nicely.
Nice slash to the basket by Juliet Warren.
Yeah, their big-time players now are stepping up, and they now have it under 10 with just under 5 minutes and a trap in the corner.
Very nice pass inside.
Yeah, Sasha Sims found Johnson inside, and see, that's why East is gambling now. They're extending their defense, which is going to create some holes, and Norristown has to do a job of recognizing that.
There's a fast break after a block. All right, there's an injury timeout.
That's number 33, Juliet Warren, down on the floor.
She took a rather hard tumble, and rather than speculate, we'll just wait.
Yeah, the fans right now are, I think, being a little bit over emotional and somewhat unreasonable. That was certainly not a flagrant foul, nor was it even a foul. She's just a hustling player, number 33, Juliet Warren. There was some incidental contact made, and she's shaken up. But there's Mr. Flynn out there attending very professionally to her medical needs at this time.
Juliet Warren is a warrior.
Joe, look at the muscle tone on her and some of these other young female athletes. It's amazing that the weight training, conditioning, and hey, they're athletes. You're right. They take this seriously, and this is a fine basketball game. There's a lot of good basketball being played out here tonight.
One of the points that Coach Rudloff made to me the other day was that these are not young women who play basketball. They are, in fact, basketball players. Every bit as aggressive and competitive as their male counterparts. Very nice, smooth left-handed layup by Leanne Moore.
Coming up in the 4-minute mark, Joe, now, and I, as a coach, usually under 4 minutes, if I'm up 12 or 13, I felt that I could control the game from my perspective as a coach, as far as execution and offenses and defense. I felt pretty comfortable at this point. Of course, you have to have the players in order to execute that.
Coach, was there any bright line that you used to use with regard to leads and when you would start to put in your subs?
At this point, I didn't even think of subs. Too much time, 4 minutes. With the three-point shot in effect, this is not a big enough lead. Because if you look right now, right now it's a 4-possession game. 3.5 minutes, 4 possessions is nothing. Now, alluding to that, putting in subs as far as clearing the bench.
Yes.
You always had substitutes that you had to consider situationally at this point in the game. Norristown right now still up 11. They're shooting the bonus 2 shots.
Very nice pass, very nice play inside.
But they're executing the last 2 or 3 times as well as they have all night.
That was a very, very sharp pass, and Leanne Moore finished it with a driving layup.
Now that's one thing Norristown, Joe, does not want to do. They don't want to stop the clock 26 feet from the basket with the reach-in foul. It stops the clock. It allows Westchester East, if they're successful on their free throws, to set up their press, and just senseless. But they're kids. And unlike Hapro, they're not on scholarship over here. Number 33 converts that, Joe. She's awoken here in the fourth quarter.
She has had a much better second half than she had her first half. Her and Brooke Queenan struggled a bit, and again, I come back to the scintillating play of Megan McBride, who seemed to have brought a spark to the Lady Vikings.
Be a 20-second, or I believe that's a 30-second timeout this year. I'll have to check that out. I know it's a 30-second in college. I didn't pay attention if that 20-second or 30-second would apply to the high school regulations. Well, Joe, we have 2 minutes, 59 seconds remaining, an 11-point lead. Both teams are in the bonus foul-wise. Of course, Norristown's going to be in the 2-shot bonus, which is a huge advantage.
Do you think, Tom, if Westchester were to go into a full-court press, Norristown would be able to handle it?
If Coach Jackson isn't setting up his press offense right now, I'll swallow this mic. They should handle it. They're big enough to throw over top of it. It's a 2-2-1, so they should attack it with a 3 across and just keep passing the ball back. And right now they're dribbling right into the teeth of it. They should have 3 guards up. What I mean, Joe, they have a two guards up there. What you should do is you should make the 2 up people commit to pinch the 1 guard. Now you have 2 open wings. If they take away either wing, you have the middle open.
Middle open.
All right, you can't attack a two-man front press with a 2-man front offense.
In other words, it has to be even, odd, even, odd.
Absolutely. You have to attack gaps. Let's see what Sasha does here from the line. She's off the mark, but again, that 2-shot situation gives her a chance to take a deep breath, regroup, and knock this one down. Now Norristown should right now get back to what we said in the first half. Solid defense. Don't reach, don't gamble. Box out, good box out there.
Good rebound by number 5.
She's played a nice game off the bench. That's number 5 again, Ashley O'Donnell.
Ashley O'Donnell. Looks like Norristown is playing a little bit of keep away.
Absolutely. Doing a good job here. Could have been an intentional push there, but also Coach Jackson's off the bench. He could get a tee there. If you question a call, you don't stand up.
I think it's important for the referees now to calm everybody down. It's been a well-played game. You do not want to see it degenerate into any sort of ugliness.
No, and you know what? That wasn't that flagrant. I mean, obviously they want a foul. They have to stop the clock. Norristown's in a stall. All right, now the official hesitated. She called the call. Now she's going to go and change her mind for the intentional, which again, it's her interpretation. But Coach Jackson is very fortunate he did not get a technical. And I tell you, my career, I didn't get many breaks. All right, this intentional foul situation rule indicates that the team that is fouled receives 2 uncontested foul shots. Then they will retain possession side out. Very similar to a technical foul ruling. Norristown small but noisy faithful now is getting in it. There's big Mr. Ellis over there. Got some vested interest in this game. It's good to see that enthusiasm. And why we're seeing that, now she shot the 2 intentional, now she'll shoot the 2 personals. So again, 4 possession, that's right, 4 free throws and possession. And Joe, I believe this is going to lock it, 15-point lead.
I think Tamisha Johnson with these 3 and now these 3 foul shots, they might have been the 3 nails in the Westchester coffin.
Yes, and now we have a 20-second timeout, and the head coach from Westchester East is going to question the officials. And you know what? I think he's a little upset, and I kind of don't blame him.
Yeah.
But officials really do not have to talk to coach. The official could send him right back to the bench, Joe. Go ahead.
I was a little troubled by the fact that the referee, Sandy Yost, took so long to call the intentional foul.
Right, she was indecisive. I think she was talked into it by the Norristown coaching staff.
Which is good coaching. It's
good coaching, and they won that battle. The Westchester East coach knows that's exactly what happened. The fact is, you feel sorry a little bit for East because they fought so hard to get back, and they still were in the game. You hate to see the momentum taken away by a questionable call, but in that case, it was the hesitation on the call, not the validity of the call.
Yeah, you never see you never want to see a game being decided by the men in the stripe, the men and the women in the striped shirt.
Okay, nice turnover created by second half MVP Megan McBride.
The young lady not only plays offense, she plays very good defense. There's a nice drive to the basket by Juliet Warren, who continues to play hustling, aggressive basketball. She is, as I said before, Tom, she is a warrior. She's an athlete.
She sure is.
She has played her hearts out, and all the young ladies have played their hearts out.
One thing about Westchester East and all the Chessmont schools, Joe, that maybe a lot of people either not aware of or never give it much thought. They're in a league that only consists of 4 schools. Since the breakup years ago and the formation of the Pac-10, the Chessmont League is left with Coatesville, Downingtown, Westchester East, and Henderson, which means to fulfill a 24-game schedule, they have to, and with other teams in bigger leagues, predominantly consisting of most of their games within their league, they have difficulty filling the schedule. They have to do a lot of traveling. I mean, it's no easy task to go from Westchester to Council Rock and to Chamonix and Lancaster and places like that. Seems to be an injury on the floor now. Coach Rudolph is out there, as well as Mr. Flynn, the trainer in Norristown.
I believe it's Jackie DePersia, the senior guard, number 3. I don't want to speculate as to the nature of the injury, but she is sitting up. She is responding to the trainer's questions. That was a rather concussive collision down there under the basket, and it seems that Jackie got the worst of it.
Joe, I'm looking at Norristown's home game schedule coming up, and what looms very, very large is 1 week from this evening, 12-14, December 14, right here at Norristown Area High School Gymnasium, the Lady Eagles will entertain the defending state champion Panthers of Cheltenham High School. Now, I believe Norristown has a game or two in between that. Obviously would have to be away.
It would be nice to see a big turnout.
Absolutely.
For that game.
People, this Ladies Eagles basketball team is going to provide a lot of excitement. This gym should be packed for that game. And I think we'll be right here courtside doing play-by-play.
Something to look forward to, Tom. Very nice drive. Very nice rebound by Leanne Moore.
You see how she kept her arms up, Joe, after
I did see that.
Got possession of that basketball?
That's excellent fundamental basketball, right, Coach?
Exactly right. Signs of good coaching and a responsive student. Probably more important.
We're down to 1 minute left in the game.
Coach, one other point as we're winding down here under 50 seconds. I anticipate a foul, or maybe they'll just let Norristown take the time off the clock, which is possible, which they do. Today happens to be Leanne Moore's 17th birthday, so I would like to wish personally Leanne a happy birthday. By the time you hear this telecast, it'll be belated, but I did wish you a happy birthday today in my office as you were doing some filing for me.
And I join in those sentiments.
They were winding down right now. It doesn't appear that East will want to stop the clock. They'll probably let Norristown dribble out the clock if the last possession was any indication. Joe, as we wind down here in the final 8 seconds, this was a very interesting high school basketball game. Almost played the beginning of the game very, very evenly. Norristown pulled away second quarter, pulled away third quarter, and then with 2 minutes remaining, 3 minutes in the third quarter, Westchester East really showed their competitive spirit and outstanding shooting by McBride. That's the end of the game here. The final score, Norristown 59, Westchester East 43. Norristown's record now moving to 2 wins against no defeats, 2 impressive wins. Westchester East realizing their first loss of the season. Coach Jackson's coming in here now to center court to gather his team. And maybe we could get Leanne Moore on tape if we can get her here before we wrap up. We utilize that time maybe to get Leanne, but they're doing a little bit of unity celebration right there. And I think team captain Leanne Moore and Tamisha Johnson were the difference, Joe.
I think you're right, and I think Westchester's star player, Brooke Queenan, she was here, but she did not perform the way that I had thought that she would. The young woman averaged 16.5 points per game last year. However, I think that some credit for that poor performance has to go to the stifling Eagles defense. They shut her down. They kept her under control very effectively.
Joe, you couldn't have said it any better. And Coach Jackson, after the unity celebration at center court, is taking his team back to the locker room. We can't get an interview with either him right now or Leanne Moore, but we will be back for future telecasts of the Lady Eagles as well as the Norristown High School boys basketball team.
Tom, it was a lot of fun, and I look forward to working with you the rest of the season.
Okay, Joe, on behalf of Joe Highland, myself, Tom McGee, and the NASD TV network, good night from Norristown Area High School. Good job, baby.
Nice job.